Start from there. All right. It's recording on that end. We're good to go? All right. Hello. This is another episode of the Mental Threads Podcast. My name is Toasty, and I'm here with my guest, Miss Just Brianna.
Hey, y'all.
Just Brianna. All right. We know each other for like a couple months now, like a year?
Yeah, a couple months.
I've been working at the strip club for a year now. Like, what the hell?
You've been there for a year?
Since last September. Like, my alcohol license expired. That's how long.
Time go by fast.
No, really. This was just a side job, really. And then just to help somebody else out. And then I just and then they didn't want to work there. I just ended up staying there. It's like, this is a cool spot. I'm going to chill here.
It is.
Let me see what I can get out of here. That's like the longest job I've ever worked at.
For real?
For real. Since like college, even before college, bro. Like, there was always some bullshit going on.
Same with me. I do not keep a job. Like, dancing, that's the longest job I ever had.
Yes. And it's like, is it me? Is it my problem? I don't know. Maybe.
No.
I don't know. But anyway, this is episode 165 of the podcast episode. I know you had interest in wanting to be on the Mental Threads Podcast. And how long have you had interest in like podcasting or being on my podcast in particular?
So I've been having interest about podcasts in general for about a little over a year. At first, I wanted to make a podcast called The Slutcast.
Oh.
Basically turning the term slut into a like more positive term. Like people, I'm a dancer, so people use slut as a derogatory term for sex workers, period. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to bring some sex workers on the podcast and just have them talk about their story, because everybody has a story. We all have different experiences. And just because we have different types of jobs that society does not agree with doesn't mean that we're bad people.
Oh, yeah. Most
yeah, and we have goals, dreams, just like everyone else.
Oh, yeah. No. I feel you for sure. And, like, I'm not saying like I'm a thoughtologist or whatever, but slut doesn't even seem that, like, mean anymore. Like, thought seems a little bit weird. I wouldn't want to be around the thought, but a slut seems pretty nice. Like, she seems like, a slut seems more free and authentic. A thought just seems like she puts up, like, this sense of, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm really popping. Like, I stood next to this nigga for, like, in the section for, like, 10 minutes, so I'm the shit.
And made $500.
Yeah.
Not doing anything.
And then a whore is obviously like the more cerebral part of the spectrum. Like she'll bury the old dude, take his money, take half, and then be like, okay, I'm good, I'm set. I just gotta do my thing. Yeah. And stuff like that. Like I feel like that's, although I look down on it morality, like okay, I respect mentally, I can respect it mentally.
Definitely. I feel like it should be respected.
And I feel like that's a really dope idea for a podcast and everything. That's a wonderful thing about podcasting. I know a lot of people get a bad rap, with the whole people doing like, we're gonna get into it, but they talk about the 50-50 stuff and like women should be this and men should be this. And it's just, I feel like it could be too overly opinionated. How I set up my podcast is mostly it's people focused. So it's like really, we just gotta get into your background, the guests, and like your thoughts about things. And I just kind of bounce off on them and just kind of my thoughts and things. It's inviting. Yeah. We're inviting each other's opinion instead of just be like, you know what? Let me tell you something. And just on my soapbox type stuff. But back to you, Miss Just Brianna. Let's get to know Miss Just Brianna.
I love the new alias you gave me. Like I'm definitely gonna use that.
All right, that's great. But in your background, are you originally from Charlotte, North Carolina?
No, I'm from Durham, North Carolina.
Oh, dope.
Yes, I love being from Durham. I don't meet too many people from Durham that live in Charlotte, but I'm glad I moved here. I feel like it's a lot of new opportunities, experiences. I just feel like I had to grow, and moving out of Durham is like how I grew.
Yo, it's like, that's funny that you said that. I just had a friend of mine from Durham on my podcast, like literally like 2 episodes ago, and we brought a friend as well. But yeah, I love Durham myself. Durham reminds me of my side of town in Charlotte, east side of Charlotte and everything.
Really?
So it's just like, I like how it's kind of like the hood, but not too hood. It's just, it's like a right balance of hood and everything. And it's just like, that's where I went to college at. So it's just like, so there's a lot of wonderful moments in my life that I accumulate with Durham, like and everything. I would consider staying at Durham, but they ain't got too many like 24-hour like gas stations. So I'm like, sometimes I'll be waking up like early in the morning. It'll be like 3 a.m. in the morning at college, after a nap. I'm like, dang, I wish I could go get something to eat. Like you gotta go heave to Cookout if they don't close. And it's just like, man. Yeah, man, I was missing Quick Trip out there during my college years.
Yeah, they got QT everywhere here.
But like, Durham, like
exactly.
And it's so like in going into your life and in Durham and everything, it's just like When finding yourself as an individual, would you say like you were were you the sporty girl, were you like the spiritual girl, were you the nature girl? What was your vibe growing up?
I was never the sporty girl growing up. My parents, I come from a humble background. Like my parents, they weren't rich, so my mom, she didn't really put me in sports or nothing like that. Even though I kind of wanted to be, but that wasn't really my lane. Like I tried cheerleading, I tried volleyball, I tried basketball, and it just never really worked out for me.
Volleyball seems like your vibe, or cheerleading. I could see you like as a volleyball person or a cheerleading person. Yeah, like you have a cheery attitude.
I do. A lot of people say that. But yeah, I was never really the sporty type. I've always been a nature girl my whole entire life. I've always loved the beach. I always loved the garden, Duke Gardens. That was my favorite place growing up. Like I used to go there like every week. I love being outside, just embracing nature. I feel like that's really important. Yeah, and I've always been pretty spiritual. I feel like I get that gift from my great-great-grandmother.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
your great-great-grandmother. What was it? Were you so your great-grandmother, was she like Creole or anything, like from the islands, Caribbean?
No,
She was just spiritual?
No, my grandmother, like my dad's side, they're Cherokee Indian, so I
Oh.
have that background.
Okay, that explains the hair.
A lot of people ask me that. And but with my grandmother, it's crazy because I was reading this heritage book. My dad, he has one. His mom made one about his side of the family.
Oh, really?
Yes. So in the heritage book, I found out that my great great grandmother, she was born with a veil.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically a spiritual gift where like you can see and talk to spirits and stuff like that. She was born with that.
So she was like a medium.
Something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Mediums in the house.
I can't really go into detail because I don't know too much about it.
That's
And my type of spirituality, I don't really like get into it with the dead. Like I don't talk to the dead or nothing like that. But I feel like that's where most of my spirituality comes from because she had those gifts. Like I'm very clairvoyant and I feel like I can see the future sometimes. Like my dreams, they tell me a lot.
Same. Not so much lately though, or if I do, I forget them automatically until I get to that point. I'm like, hold up, this seems familiar. What's going on here?
Right,
and everything.
If the dream really stood out to me, I'll wake up and I'll write it in my notes so I won't forget because sometimes I will forget my dreams. But almost every time I've had a dream, it ended up happening. Like especially in past relationships, like believe people when they say like. When they had a dream that they were getting cheated on, that'd be real. Like,
oh, dang.
I had dreams that I was getting cheated on, and it actually happened. Like, I was actually getting cheated on.
Wow, that's crazy. I be having dreams, so I'm falling from the sky. I hope that doesn't
I had
happen
dreams
for
like
real.
that too.
Like, dang, I ain't never done going skydiving. No, you can't even convince me to go. Like, no.
I would never go skydiving ever.
But for real, like, I feel like deja vu. The points of deja vu for me was like usually every graduation. I had like a dream though, how I graduated and everything, and I don't really realize it until I really get to that point. Like when I graduated from Central, and then when I graduated from high school, those are key moments, or just moments where I spend time with my family at an event or whatever. Or just like, general moments like of achievement or something. It'll be something random and everything. And it's just like I'd be like, is God trying to tell me something? Is like the spirit's trying to tell me something? Like what's going on? It's a key moment. Like what about this one? You start getting suspicious, but you're never really 100% sure and everything. And it's great. It's great to like that you actually take the time to actually get to know like your ancestors to that degree where you can actually build that connection with them. Like, for instance, like my family is Liberian, as it's kind of obvious in the Instagram Liberian Toastman. But it's like at the same token, it's just like, like my full name is T Dolake Seifili. So it's just like, my middle name Dolake, I was named after my father's favorite uncle. And he was really good at building houses. He never drew a house, nothing. He just built it. He just knew how to do it and just did it. And then on top of that, it's just like, I feel like I carry parts of myself like with them, like from my grandfather, like on my mother's side and even on my father's side. Like my grandfather on my father's side was a hunter and everything. Although he couldn't read and stuff like that, it's just he was really, really good at hunting. When he had something, he had his mind made up on something he was going to catch, he was going to catch it. And like my grandfather on my mother's side, he was a businessman. He didn't want to work for nobody else, So it's just I feel like I get that rebellious nature, but that sense of like entrepreneurship type nature from him, and also just like that ambitious nature from my other grandfather. I feel like their energy just kind of passes through like your descendants and stuff like that.
That's how my grandfather is too. Like he's He fishes, like he goes fishing a lot. He builds things. He's a very, very handy man. And like you said, your grandfather, like he doesn't have to draw it out or anything. That's exactly how my grandfather is. Like he does not. If you put his mind to it, he can just build it, fix it up. Like, and I'd be wondering how he do it.
Yeah, I don't know. They just had to work harder, so it just comes to them. With I bet, just my grand uncle, for which I was named after. It's just like, I feel like it's just in a sense, it's just like your nature kind of passes through and just takes different forms out and takes pieces and pieces from people who used to live amongst us or whatever. And I truly believe that. When I think about that, I learn more about them. I feel a lot closer to them and everything. So that's why I keep a lot of African statues that my grandfather used to have after when he passed. I just kind of kept it in my closet, and wherever I would go, I would just take it with me. If I have to move to DC or whatever, I'm gonna still take it with me, because it's just like that's something I want to pass down for generations as well. You want to set that.
That's important.
Yes, it's very, very important. So back on the spirituality and everything, I know it's just like you have a fondness with creating manifestation jar necklaces. I try to make it into a necklace. I don't know why I keep messing it up. I don't know what's going on. It's just like, but it's just like you do have like a certain technique in terms of building these manifestation jars, correct?
Yes. So I have a book of like ancient herbs and just herbs in general, an encyclopedia of herbs. So whenever I want to make a jar, I set my intentions. I research like what type of herbs, like what works for this, and that's kind of how I make like the jar. Like that's how I come up with the ingredients. Like I have one to protect myself from car accidents and stuff. Like I just have it in my car. And also the one that I gave you, the prosperity jar.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I like prosperity.
That's the one that I've had when I bought my car, like my first car ever. Like I didn't even know. I just walked in the dealership. I didn't know if I was going to get approved. I didn't know how it worked. And I just got my car, and I really feel like that was the prosperity jar. Like I feel like when you put your intentions on things and you're very positive, you just affirm yourself like, okay, I'm going to get this. Like there's nothing that's going to be in my way of achieving this. It's going to happen. Like it just comes from you. Like you have to believe it. And like I said, like when I think when I gave you the jar, I told you like if you don't believe it, it's not gonna work. Like you can have the jar, but if you're not intentional, it's no point of having the jar.
I mean, yeah, that is true. But, sometimes you just kind of have to point out, like, all the positives that's going around. If you completely ignore the positives, then no positive is going to happen. Exactly. Like, I'll literally get excited if I get a tip, like, from a dancer and everything. I'll be like, oh, $5, oh, $10. Right. And it's like, because that stuff really adds up and everything. I might get some snacks, a quick trip, or maybe I put some gas in my car.
Yeah, you
know what I'm saying?
Appreciate the smaller things. And that's another thing. I feel like with dancers, we can lose sight of appreciating the small things. Like we're so used to making like $500, $600, $1,000, and then when we have a night we make $200 or $300, we be like, oh my God, I had such a bad night. It was so slow. I hear a lot of dancers, we end up speaking very negative, and you have to remember that people, like, we work at a job where we can make very fast money, good money, and people they don't make $200 in like the amount of time that we do, how we do. So I feel like we still have to be grateful for even the slow nights. Damn. So that kind of goes hand in hand with what you said.
Man, you be making all that money. You just said 200 and 1,000. Nothing like. I ain't trying to put on my finances, but dang, it's like wait, like okay, all right. Let me see. Maybe I could book me like for strip rock for like wedding events or something like that. I could dress like a fireman or something like that. I don't know. Might have to work out a little bit more though, but at the same token, it's like okay, that's actually really a unique way to look at things and everything. But at the same time, you got to give yourself some grace. Y'all be next to some creeps and everything. I be trying to work security. I'll be like looking at me like, see, like, that dude trying to kiss that girl. Like, what, dude? It's not that kind of party, bro. Like, stank ass breath on a complete stranger. You just met this girl. Like,
there's been times where I've walked away from customers because their breath just stinks so bad.
No. I stay with the mint gum, bro. Right, like, it's just like, because it's just like, cause even for other people, that's why I just give it away. I don't be like, oh, no, you can't have my gum. It's like, no, you got to have good breath on you.
You have to.
Ain't nobody going to put no review talking about like so-and-so breath stink and everything. And
that's
like, come on. Y'all too grown, man. You're way too grown.
Way too grown for bad hygiene.
Really, and it's just like I ain't trying to pressure people, but come on, you're gonna be in people's face, bro. That's the least you can do. Like it's just like music's loud, you're gonna be in people's face.
We have to talk close to each other. It's so loud.
Yeah, man. But we go deep in that experiences in a little bit. But I want to talk more about like your interests and everything beyond nature and spirituality. What other interests you might have? I know you mentioned something about reading as well.
Yes, I love reading.
What books? What book you read? What book you read?
I like James Patterson. Like anything by James Patterson. I like his murder mysteries. Those are some of my favorite books. Just like anything good.
Oh, anything good.
I'm not reading anything currently, but anything that's good, I'm going to read. Like,
bro, I'm so disappointed in myself. I set up a standard to read at least 6 books this year, bro. But my ADHD be kicking my ass, bro.
I swear that's why I'm not reading nothing right now.
So I'll be like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. All right, cool. I'm back to video games. No, I don't want to play no video. I want to put Netflix on. No Netflix. I want to check what's up on my.
It's
my
easy
mom
to
be
get
all
distracted.
over the place. It's so, but I need to get back on him because my brother be reading and everything. He just read. He's reading Lord of the Flies right now and everything. And it's just like I'm like, yo, I'm so proud of you guys to read all these books and everything because that's a good workout for your brain though. Like it could really, really help. And it's just like, I feel like it's good to actually do things that stimulate your brain because I feel like that's what a lot of people who have Alzheimer's and stuff long term, they just didn't stimulate their brain a whole lot. You know, it's just like if you don't exercise a lot when you're young and everything, when you're old, you become all rickety and breaking down over everything. Or freaking like, you know, it's just like, I don't know, like you close the door too hard or something and you sprain your ankle.
I was just reading about that earlier.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't want that to be me, man. I want to be a strong 90-year-old. I don't know, like, what 90-year-olds do, like, but it's like, I want to do it to the best of my ability.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Like, I want to be able to run around with my grandkids and stuff.
Yeah, like, I don't need no walker. My great-grandmother's still alive. She don't have no walker.
Really?
None at all. Don't need a cane, nothing. She survived Ebola, 2 civil wars. She just said.
That's good. That's good.
Seriously. I think I got a picture. I'm going to show her the picture after. Like, it's really bizarre. Like, really, I need to really hurry up before she hits the hundreds and everything and something crazy happens. But it's like, yeah, that's nice that, you know, like, you know, that you're really deep into reading and stuff of that nature. Now, to move on more deeper into spirituality, in terms of like rituals that you do, like my rituals that I really stick to is like, you know, new moon. I just kind of said like my manifestation journal. I just write down a couple things that I'm grateful for, and then a couple things I want to just kind of manifest into my life. And I just kind of keep it simple while lighting a candle or something, you know, just to kind of like, you know, bring up that intention, you know. And that's just kind of how I do it. Like new moons, maybe sometimes on full moons and everything, if I remember if it's a new moon or a full moon. And what are your rituals and everything beyond the jars and stuff?
So beyond the jars, like some of my rituals, I do a lot of spell work with candles. So like cleansing negative energy out of my life. So like I use candles. That's my ritual. Like candles, affirmations, and just putting things out into the universe and knowing that it's going to come back to me. Like knowing that whatever I need or want is going to come to me. That's my ritual. And
like when you put out these candles, you just blow it and just say "so mote be"? Because like sometimes I do it, I'm like, am I doing it?
No, like I don't do that. When I use candle work, I just like when I blow out the candle, I let the candle finish. Like I let the candle stay lit for as long as it can.
Oh,
like,
really?
Let's say like an hour or two. It depends on what I'm doing, how intense. And then I just blow it out with like the affirmation in my head, close my eyes. That's how I do it.
Yeah, you're protected because it's like if I just keep a light on, I just fall asleep or something like, oh snap, and then something start burning. Like, oh god, no. I'd be like, freaking fire department, like, what were you doing lighting a candle and took a nap? It's like I don't know. I was trying to manifest things. It's just my apologies. I don't trust myself to keep it on and not fall asleep.
That's another thing. Like I always say out loud and believe genuinely that I am divinely protected. So.
Divine protection is in full effect. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, every 20 minutes, like the video starts cutting off. And I don't know if you've seen the full video and everything, but it's like it kind of cuts off after 20 minutes, and then it's just like I just want to be able to warn you that we're getting close to 20 minutes. And
that's fine.
Let me just see if I can message this dude to just let him know that we're getting close to 2 minutes. Let me just see.
Wait, did that mean the episode almost over?
Oh no, it's not over.
Okay.
No, we got 2 more parts left, for like 20 minutes apart for like a full hour.
I like this. I don't want to do it yet.
No, I just want to be able to be mindful and everything. I don't know if he's coming. He better be coming. Oh my gosh, we're close to 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh my gosh, we're on the clock.
59 seconds.
Yes. No. Seriously. Yeah. No. I hope he sees my text message. He say he got a timer, but sometimes it's just like it's already close to 2 minutes, and it's just like, okay, well, where you at though? Like,
right?
Are you looking at the timer? You better not be getting hot. He better not be getting high. He better not. He probably getting high. Oh my god. Let me just see.
Okay, there he goes.
Oh yeah, there he goes. Hey, we're getting close to 20 minutes. Just want to let you know. We're getting close to 20 minutes. Oh yes. We're speaking about that time. All right, just want to make sure. So I just want to make sure it's not going to cut off or it's back on. Oh, okay, no problem. All right, cool. We're good. He said it. We're good.
Okay.
So it's back on. All right, thank you. He's really, really good at his job. He's really awesome. But all right, back to the situation at hand and everything. Because I know we spoke a whole lot about your interest in spirituality. I would like to move on to the more raunchier side of things. So experiences dancing. How long have you been dancing now?
I've been dancing since I was 18, so that's about 2.5 years.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yep.
And what led to your interest into dancing?
I've always wanted to dance. Like, it started when I was younger. Like, I came across this video on YouTube. There's this lady, she goes by Pole Assassin. I watched her YouTube videos, and I was like, this looks so cool. Like, she was just on the pole, like.
Assassinating.
Doing all the tricks.
Metaphorically.
I was like, I have to do this. Like, I want to do this. This looks so cool. So yeah, it just pretty much started there. Like, I just knew it was something I always wanted to do. I have a passion for it.
And in terms of like just outside interference in turn again, did you ever have any doubts and everything? Getting to that point, it's like, what people saying about me or nothing? There's none that came to mind. Just say, fuck it.
One thing about me, I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Like, I'm gonna do me regardless. I don't care, because nobody's living my life except for me.
And honestly, it's actually really cool, like seeing it up person and everything, and everything. Because before I was even working the show, I didn't even go to the show. I tried to go, but it's like I was too young at one time. Since I was just so caught up in life, I just didn't go again. I'm gonna come back when I make them some ones. I'm just like, maybe I can work here. Let's just see what's happening. Maybe I could probably help this one person out get a job here, and then they didn't want to get a job there or something like that, and I just kept working there and whatnot. So just after seeing it like in person and everything, like y'all be having like hella stamina and everything and just doing that stuff for like on and on again. I'm like, bro, like that must be super strong. I'm like, dang, if they crack somebody in the face, they're gonna break a face or something like that. Cause it's like you're really jazzercising your muscles like for hours on end.
Literally. And there's this common misconception that, it's so easy. Like, people that don't work at the strip club, people that are not dancers, they just think it's easy. They just see the money and the glamour side of it. They don't know all the hard work we put into this. Like, they just think it's a handout, and it's not.
It'd be scary sometimes. Like, I mean, I think one time I saw Miss Farrah just doing the whole death drop, and I'd be like, that was the first time I ever seen a death drop. Like, oh my goodness! Like, and then she stopped right away. I'm like, is she good? Is she good? And I'm just like, God, because she breaks her neck, and I'm the only one that said they'll look at me like, why didn't you do anything? Like, well, I had no control. I didn't know what to do.
It's dangerous. Like, it has its pros and cons, but it is dangerous. Like, we doing all that stuff on the pole. I just sounded real country for a second, but
we're in the South. It happens.
We can fall, like, and then we meet people that can be dangerous. Some girls, they take Ubers from work every night, and that can be dangerous as well. So
wow. Oh yeah. Why do they take the Ubers from work? They just don't want to bring their car?
I honestly don't know. I'm not trying to like
you ain't gotta
be shady or nothing.
Yeah, don't do that.
But I feel like if you a stripper, you should have a car. We make a lot of money.
And a gun. Because it's like these people are mad weird. I didn't even realize how weird people were until I was actually working there. And I'm like, I know I'm not telling this guy not to kiss. I just automatically think everybody's grown. Like once they reach a certain age. So it's just like, well, that's bad. Shame on me for thinking that. But it's just like, it's just like, bro, it's a dance. Like, calm down.
You're doing
just throw
too
your
much.
money. Just throw your money. And just actually
chill.
feel a vibe. And that's what I tell a lot of people that go through the door. It's like, dude, like when you're interacting with a female, like one of the entertainers here, just feel her vibe. And if she's not feeling what you're doing, it's like she'll let you know.
Exactly.
Just, read the room, read her. And don't try to blame it on the booze either. That shit gets tired as hell, bro. Everybody knows their limit.
You should know how to control yourself.
Yeah, bro, having to kick people out because they're too drunk and they just don't know their surrounding and shit. That shit get tired after a while. It's like, come on now. Like, what? Because I like drinking white and everything. Like, that's my stuff. And that stuff with vodka, that gets you drunk quick. And I even know my limit. So it's like, when I see another grown, somebody like twice my age or something like acting that way, I'm like, dude, come on. I cannot keep telling you to get off this couch when I didn't told you to get off this damn couch. Like, you know. It'd be like stuff like that. But in your experience of like, you know, what were some like unsavory experiences in terms like with interacting with the customers?
One of the most unsavory experiences I ever had. I was given a dance, and this is why I don't like doing lap dances. Like, I'll do them, but I have to feel the vibe of the customer first.
Mm-hmm. Understand.
So I was giving this customer a lap dance, and he ended up, like, he was an older man. He ended up ejaculating, like, in his pants. And I got up so fast. I was like, yeah.
Yo, that is crazy.
I was so mad. I was like, yeah, you have to cash at me $500. He did. He sent me the $500. And I'm so glad that it didn't get on me that much.
Oh, my God. Not that much. Oh, my God.
It was like this much that got on, like, my cheek.
Yo.
And I went and cleaned myself up so fast.
He had his pants on, right?
He did. He had on some dress pants. That's the crazy thing. Like, I don't know what was wrong with him. But that was the most crazy thing I ever experienced.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're liable to press charges, low key,
I swear.
because it's like that's just weird. I mean, but it's like, I know, was it not his fault? I'm trying to. Is it his fault or is it not? Because like you should know like your limit. If you know that's what it takes, bro, you should just be like, just watch from afar. Just throw the wands on.
I was so confused. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how did it just happen? Like,
there be some bizarre shit happen at the strip club. Literally. Like there was one girl, it's just like I was scared for her because she was in the VIP section, and it's like one dude asked her to like step on his balls, and I'm just like, bro. And I'm looking at this like, dude, it's like, I had to check in like with one of my managers just to make sure. But at first I said like, hey man, you need to chillax on this stuff back here, because it's like if you break this dude's thing, like I don't think we got insurance liable to cover whatever that is, like whatever that would be called. Like it's just like. He got his testicles mashed by a heel. How do you even fix that? Like, how do you reverse that? It's
crazy.
I don't know.
Because some men, they like stuff like that. Like at the gentlemen's clubs, like we have VIP rooms and stuff. One time, this customer, he asked me to like in the VIP room. He wanted me to degrade him. Like, he just wanted me to call him a bitch, slap him, spit on him, like, step on him with my heels and stuff. I got paid a lot to do it, but I could not bring it. Like, I could not bring myself to spit on him. But, yeah, like, I did everything else. Like,
yeah,
but I'm not spitting. Like, that's, I don't know.
That's your saliva just being on somebody, like stranger and everything.
I don't know why some dudes like that, but I don't bash people for their fetish, like.
And I don't want to judge either, because it's like we're all individuals. But dang, you need somebody to call you a bitch to your face again. I'll be like, what?
Because he was a white guy, so like I kind of made it. This is sick.
You don't have to go deeper if you don't have to.
But I was like, yeah, like, give me my reparations, bitch.
Not reparations.
Like, stuff like that.
God.
It's really crazy.
Oh,
and
man.
then you got the people that, you know, they do drugs and stuff. Yeah. Like,
what did he say when you said that? Like, I'm still like, well, how do you respond? It's like, oh yeah, let's just get the paperless sign.
It was so long ago. Like, I don't even really remember. But he was in a daze. Like, he was so.
I'm sure one of your ancestors was really like, yeah, get.
I know. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, yeah, payback.
Oh my goodness. I don't know.
But, and then another experience I've had, I was dancing. Me and this girl, we were dancing. This was at Onyx. We were dancing. And we was just dancing in front of the two customers. I turned around, and he got a bag of powder. He about to sniff it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
and honest?
In the open, too.
No.
Like, but it was a lot of people.
No.
But I turned around, like, the girl was like, look.
No, when people become coke heads, bro, that shit is so casual.
So crazy.
I remember one time, it's like, and this was so crazy. It was in community college. I was at a friend's apartment and everything, because it's just like, it was the first time I knew that actually had his own apartment. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's get teed up and everything. We're smoking everything. I'll only stick to weed. That's as far as I'm gonna go. And then it's just like, literally, it's like one dude just offered like coke on a card and everything. Like, it was a bag of chips. It's like,
They
hey, yo,
have
you
no
want to try
shame.
it? And I'm just like, no, thank you. I'm good. But in the back of my head, I know this motherfucker. What part of me gave off like cokehead?
Right.
Like,
And
it's
then
just like
the Coke rants, like, they just be so funny. Like,
teeth be chattering and everything, be looking at you. And dude one are going like, hey, man, you're a man of peace, right? Like, just because I don't want to do Coke, I'm a man of peace. Like, what is this? It's like, I don't know. I don't want to judge people, but it's like, bro, a lot of y'all must have been dropped on you at least one good time.
Yes,
because
like,
they ain't no sense behind them eyes. Ain't nothing.
At all.
I try not to judge, though, but it's just, I can't go anywhere past. I'll probably do shrooms. Shrooms at the farthest.
I thought about it. But not like I just
But
want to do it one time.
One
That's
good
it.
time. It's like
Just to see.
and it's just to see what it's about. Because I heard they could actually cure depression, but some people be really tweaked out their minds for the rest of their life. And I'm just like, do I even want? I could just go for a jog and feel better.
Yeah, I don't
ain't
want to
need
risk
do
that.
all that. I don't want to risk that. I'm gonna stick to it. I know what it's all about. I'm good.
Right.
I'll make Doritos taste like a gourmet meal. I go to bed early. That's my stuff. That's a nice good like. I don't know. That's good. But anyway, on it, it's just like there'll be a couple times, dude. Like there'll be a couple dudes that come back, and I'm like, hey, how are you still back here though? They be banning so many other people. It's like there's one dude. I don't know if you know the dude with the snapback.
I know exactly who you're talking about. That's the first person that came to mind when you said that.
And it's just he be kind of standing in the corner with his money. He don't be throwing nothing until like the very end.
It's something wrong with him.
One girl was on stage and everything, had her legs open, and he just like pressed his face on her coot and just ran out the door. And I'm like, okay, he's definitely been. And he kept coming. I'm like, oh, why?
Like,
why are you here,
what?
bro?
Like, I'd be so confused.
That place is so crazy, bro.
It
This
is.
the amount of stories, bro. The amount of things that just for a year, because they be chill most of the time,
do.
but it'd be like those one times. It'd be like, okay, like what was going on?
Like, this is going too far.
Yeah, bro. They be trying to kiss the girls and everything. I be looking at the girl. I'm like,
Tell me about it.
Let me know. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Because you want me to take them out.
Exactly.
Because I don't know. I feel like you'd owe the slap dude in the face, bro. Like, hey, man, this is not that kind of party, bro. And I'll be like, hey, man, you're on your own with that one.
Right.
I think one guy got stomped in the stomach. He was getting too close to one girl and everything. It was like while she was on stage, it just stomped her. He looked at me. He was like, hey, man, she just stomped me in my stomach, man. What happened? I'm like, hey, dude, you're all up in a personal space. Like, well, you weren't tipping.
You know who I feel like are the most entitled people that comes to strip clubs?
What?
I feel like the women feel like they're so
really?
entitled. Just because we're all women, they feel like they can do anything. Like, they feel like they can just touch you anywhere.
Oh, wow.
They be so aggressive. And they be the main ones. Like, they'll come up to your stage set, start clapping and yelling like, woohoo! Start clapping and stuff. And not even throwing no money. Like, coming up to stage, touching you, not tipping.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I'm so
they really
sorry.
be the most entitled people.
I be really feeling like real sorry for y'all. Like, y'all have to put up with all that stuff, man.
For
And it's
real.
just like, man, dude. And it's just like, what's another thing that happened? Because I'm trying to think. Because it's like it's all trying to run. It's all coming close to me. Like right now, it's like what was one thing? One thing that always happens is the VIP place. That's why I really just be keeping my eye on the most. Because that's when the people. That's when it's like that's when the most drama starts
They think
popping
they
off
slick.
out of
They
nowhere.
think that nobody's watching them.
Or that they're not gonna get paid. It's really just be the payment stuff that be messing up. Because some people be really having just $20 in their pocket and still going. Even when they already explain them how much it's gonna be for a song, they still go. And I'm like, bro, if you know you only got $20 in your bank account, why are you even here?
And I hate when they try to take advantage of us like that. Like, that's why you can't be too nice with customers, because if you too nice, they gonna try to take advantage of you. Like, they not gonna pay you and stuff.
Yeah.
I really hate hearing like when girls say, "Oh, he didn't pay me for this dance."
Yeah,
Da, da, da.
and I'm like, at this point, you just need to type it in your notes. Like, see, like this is what I got in my notes for Onyx, bro. Like, literally, when I be working, and it's like, literally, I use it so many times, like, it will literally pop up, like, literally at the time, like when I had to put the alcohol up, it'll be like just this. I put it in their face every time because like you're not gonna act like you can't hear me. Why am I
Right.
shouting in your face? That's what they need to drop the prices. Just type it in your nose and be like, this is what they got to be. This is what it is. You've seen it. So don't act like you don't know nothing when I bring you there.
Know.
Like, just if they're watching this, please, like, just food for thought. Like, I'll be like, well, why don't y'all use y'all notes? Like, nobody can hear nobody in here. Like, it's just like.
It be so loud. Like, one time, this is like 2-3 weeks ago, I was with a customer. We was having a conversation. It was so loud. Like, we walked around the whole club trying to, like, get a quieter space to where we could hear each other just a little better. And we walked everywhere. We could not hear each other, like, at all. It was crazy.
We're going to be so deaf when we're older just because of our time.
I be thinking about wearing earplugs because I be like, dang, like, I don't want to lose my hearing when I get older.
It's like, yeah, freaking inject stem cells in the ear or something like that or something, man. But it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like, we can go on and on about Onyx and everything. The stories will just keep piling up. But, like, even the celebrities that be showing, like, Waka Flocka Flame. I met Waka Flocka Flame there when the Chargers came that one night and on Sunday, like, literally the only part that actually had people there. The Big X, the Plug came. I remember that. That was random. He was pretty cool. Cool. And who else?
Travis Scott, Boosie.
I wasn't there for when Travis Scott won, but I was there when Boosie came.
I hate when celebrities come to the strip club. They the main people that don't tip. Like, wow. And I learned this when I first started dancing. I was working in Fayetteville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is when I first ever started dancing. It was a flyer like saying Jim Jones was gonna be at the club that I was working at, whatever. So I was like, okay.
The guy from the Diplomatics?
I don't even know who he is for real.
Light-skinned dude has a beard.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was gonna be at the club. I was like, oh, like we about to be lit. Like I'm about to make so much money. I went. He didn't throw a single dollar.
He was just there for the views.
Yeah. Ever since then, like that's when I knew like celebrities like they do not tip. Like they just getting paid to come walk through, show their face. They not like they not there to tip unless they come on their own terms. But if they getting booked and paid to come, they not throwing no money. Like Travis Scott, he got paid to come to Onyx. He only threw like $1,000.
Real? That is crazy.
Yeah. And dude, 10 girls at that.
And you see like literally like how big his concerts are. You're thinking like 1,000. That's like $5 to him.
Exactly.
Like, that's nothing.
Who else? Boosie. I think he only threw $1,000.
Just 1,000? It felt like it was a lot when I was there.
I don't remember, but I heard some girls saying that it was only 1,000. I don't really know too much about that.
I was so stoked to see Boosie. I'm like, oh yo, but then I saw him like, dude, I can dunk on this dude without even having to jump.
Oh my god! And Trina came to Onyx too. Like last year, I think she was just sitting in the corner, not doing nothing. Like wow. I don't even think she got any liquor. She just was looking stained.
Just chilling.
Not even chilling. She just looked stank. Like she was giving everybody a mean mug. I'm like, dang. Wow. Like didn't even pick nobody for the section or nothing.
I heard what's that girl's name? Maya was actually there one time.
I didn't even know that.
Manager told me, like one of the managers. I'm not gonna say everybody's name because that would be like, but yeah, it said that they spoke with her outside and everything. She just real down to earth and everything. I remember it's like when the Clippers came and everything. I got to see Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Yeah. I told my brother that story and everything. I was like, oh hey, take care of Mr. Leonard, and he just looked at me. Was like. And just walked on. And then Paul George, I take care of Mr. George. I'm like, don't call me no Mr. George. It's PG. I told my brother laughs about it all the time when I tell him about it and stuff. So it's just like, artists be having these experiences and everything. But it's just like, but I want to be able to speak more about like the relations between like the other entertainers and everything. I know you mentioned it's just like, before we got on, that it could be a little bit tense from time to time.
Yes, it can be like tense when it comes to just money, period. Not even just at the strip club, just this is in general.
Yeah.
But at the strip club, when we on the floor working, like it can get aggressive if you don't like have a system, like a way that you work.
Yeah.
If you're working with girls that you don't know and stuff, like it can be very, very aggressive. Like girls, they're very territorial, especially when certain customers come in. They think just because they know them, like, oh, this is my customer, da-da-da. Half the time, the customer, they don't even want to tip them. They just feel obligated to because the girl's, like, all up on them and they know them. Stuff like that. But me, I prefer to work with girls that I know. Like, if I don't know a dancer like that, we split in, like we not splitting a bag. We having our own pile, like, whatever, the money in the air, I'm scooping my money my way, she's scooping her money her way. Like, that's how it is.
Yeah. I've never had to break up a fight, gladly, because I don't know what to do in that situation. But it's just like, but I noticed that the tension would get mad aggressive.
It's
like, it'll be like not even like one word said. Like, it'd be like one word they would say, it'd be like, wow, that's really weird. Like, wait, hold on, was she talking shit? Like, all she said was that it was weird. Why like, she talking shit? It's like, no, she wasn't talking shit.
You have to put your foot down. Because if a girl think that shit is sweet with you, she gonna keep trying you over and over again. Like, You know the girl I showed you a picture of earlier.
Yeah.
This what happened like a few weeks ago. I was dancing for a customer,
and I had the girl on the podcast earlier.
She was throwing so much money on me. It was another dude, like he was right by us. He was throwing money, whatever, but like he was throwing it in the air. But it was obvious that he was really more so tipping me because like the girl he was with, she was throwing money on me. So I'm like making sure like my money, like this is my money. Right, I don't work with you. Like we don't ever work together. So what makes you think that we finna split anything? So she basically got mad or whatever. And when they was done throwing the money, she tried to swipe some of my money from my pile, talking about, oh, we splitting this, da-da-da. He was throwing the money in the air. I'm like, no, we're not splitting anything. Like, and I grabbed my money right back, and I went on about my night, kept making more money.
That's good. That's good. You didn't sit there to entertain it further, because then it would have really turned into something. Because I've seen, like, literally, like, there'd be situations where, like, okay, there'll be, like, 3 girls that usually work with each other, and then one girl will be passing by and then jump in. I'm just like, bro, what are you trying to do? Like,
I call it out every time.
I know it's like you're trying to get your money up, and I ain't against it, but it's just, like, a certain way you got to go about it. Like, they can't just be here, like, the past 30 minutes, and, like, you just hop in the last 5 minutes and then take a big portion and stuff. Like, it's bad. Like, you don't know that we see you. If I notice it, I got ADHD and I notice it. And there's a lot of shit going on and I notice it. And it's just like, and I have to be alert as a security, because it's like, if anything goes down, I don't notice it. That's on me. Right. And it's already bad enough. Like, the walkie-talkie is still hard. I got a piece. I still can't hear it. Like, with the walkie-talkie, bro. It'll be like, oh, they gotta come to the wall. And I'll be like, what do you say? What's going on? Nothing going on? Okay, good. That's fine. I'm gonna just keep walking around. Because it's just like, they need to work. They need to do something about that. Because it's like, what if it's a real situation?
But they don't really do much about that. Like, it's like we gotta fend for ourselves. We independent contractors, so
about that. It's just like, how much? Cause I know, don't you gotta pay a certain fee to work? And and I heard like in 100 something. I'm like, they gotta pay that much?
We pay a lot.
If it was like $40, maybe $50, or maybe something like 70 at the most.
It depends on what time we come. But if we come early, like the earliest house fee on Friday and Saturday is like, it starts at 110. I think they added another $1. It's 109 or 110. But we do have credits. Like, if we come Wednesday, Thursday, stay till 2:30, we get $50 off. Yeah. And say if I work Wednesday and Thursday, I can use $50 on Friday, $50 on Saturday. That's like an advantage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So is it better to come more days to get more to the same spot, or is it better to go to different days, different spots?
I stay at Onyx. Like, I don't really work at other spots. I feel like it's good to stay at one spot and be consistent there, because then customers, they'll just tip you because they know you 9 times out of 10.
Know where to go and where to see you.
I feel like you have to build rapport, like, with people. You have to get your name out there. And then I feel like that's when you should bounce around at other clubs. Unless you just like working at different clubs, whatever works for you. I like to stay at one club, but I have thought about traveling to other places, but that's not really a priority.
Just too much work and everything, too much going on.
Because I can make the same money where I'm at.
One spot. So, and it's like, you got a really nice car too. So it's just like, just being like, just stuff like that. It's just better to be humble too and not want too much, but just make enough to just kind of get by on top of getting things that you want as well. And everything. So it's just like, that's why it's like I try to feel for the entertainers. Like, and I'm not trying to like get tips. I'm trying to like, okay, give me that tip, give me that tip. Hey, you gonna give me a tip? It's like, I'll just be like, oh, thank you. Because like, you really don't have to. Like, it's your money, you work for it. Like, we just kind of sweep it in and kind of help it into the bag. And I like to help because, it's good to get y'all money like as you get your money. I just like to help because the more stuff I do, the more time passes.
I feel like it's good to tip. I feel like you need to look out for the DJs, the security guards, the sweepers, because they going to do a lot for you. You tipping them, they going to do more for you.
Yeah, man, I'll look out. Like, it's like, like literally, like, I've over the years of working there and like actually getting like acquainted with everybody, it's everything. Like, I feel like I'm connected with everyone to the point where it's like, I wouldn't want anybody disrespecting y'all type. So like, like I look at my friends like my family type stuff. So it's like, I'm seeing y'all more than most people I see. So it's just like, it's just off the bat like that. I don't want people to put your hands on any type of way or look some type of way, and I just stand there and I don't do anything. Because it's like, that'd take me back to the people that just see injustice and just don't do anything. So it's just, I feel like security just kind of falls in my lap as like, okay, yeah, this is something that you could do, even though you didn't realize that you probably had a a little bit of strength into it. It's just like I feel like on that empathetic type of things of just like, okay, I want the customers to have fun, and I still want the entertainers to be safe, and I still want everybody to still like get along, just so we can be able to go home and get along with our life. Because people feel some type of way, and then like people get shot, people get over emotional, people get in a fight, people, it's just unnecessary bullshit. We're all grown, bro. Come to the club, have fun, leave.
And also, like I'm gonna go back to what we was saying like a few minutes ago. About why I don't bounce around to other clubs is also because I feel like Onyx is a big family. Like the management, like they love us. Like, we all fuck with each other. And I feel very safe at Onyx. Like the whole time I've been working there hasn't been any shootouts or nothing like that. It be hole in the wall clubs. They be having shootouts and stuff. Like I just don't want to be in that type of environment. Like if I'm not feeling 100% like, okay, like, is this going to happen? I don't want to work there. I don't want to put myself at more of a risk than I already am with dancing, period. Because at the end of the day, I still come home late. Like, it's still a chance. Like, anything can happen regardless. But I feel the safest at this club. So, I'm going to stay here for the time being. Like, I wanted to say as well, like, the dancers, like, we not mean. Like, it's just, like, when we making our money, it can be aggressive. But we not fighting or nothing like that. Like, you could be having, like, a petty argument with somebody on the floor. It's just because of a small disagreement about, like, money or a customer. But in real life, y'all can be cool. Like, it's just stuff like that. It's just when it comes to money, it can get very tense. But in real life, we real sweet. Like, it's not, like, we not bullies or nothing like that.
Yeah. Y'all real chill and everything. But it's like, even when I was just about to start working there, so I thought I was like, kind of like distraught. Like, one of my friends I was working there, like, I know you know what I'm talking about. And then she had to leave the same time I was coming in. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's my homie. So I know somebody
just
here.
Just not getting to know somebody good, and then they got to leave or something. Like, I really hate that.
But I met her, like, here in the studio, like, a guy. Like, I would just say that because, like, I have her on the podcast. And she was really, really cool. Like, we were really, really cool. Had her on the podcast. And, like, I met her here in the studio for another 24-hour podcast. Since then, we just been kind of chill ever since. Then when I saw her working on, I'm like, yo, that's my homie there. And I was like, I know somebody. So, like, it wouldn't be, like, weird trying to get to know other people.
And she's super talented. Like, one time we was on the Cube together. This is like, I think last year at Onyx. We was on the Cube together this one time, and we was like, we made a mess on the stage. Like, customers, they was tipping us real good and stuff because we really put on a show. But she's really, really talented.
And she's talented with music, too.
Yes.
Like, she's really, really cool with that. She has really, really dope music. I had to add it on the podcast, for real. I know she has some stories. But it's like, it's really sad that I had to have over, like, a little petty disagreement and everything, and that she had to leave. You know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. I see everybody, like, as, the entertainment. I see it, like, as equal. Like, there are some of y'all that I'm a little bit closer to. I tap in, like, for instance, you were able to actually pull up to the podcast and everything. There's some, like, I'm real chill with, and some, like, I don't really know a whole lot, but I get the vibe and everything. But at the same time, it's just, like, I don't have preference over anybody. I'm always there to help anybody, whoever you want to talk. Good. I'm open to talk. Like, I'm not, like, discriminative or whatever. It's just, that's just not me or anything like that. I try to treat people as equal as I can. So it's just, like, I just feel like that's my motto to life. Don't, like, overstep people's boundaries. Don't disrespect people. Don't treat them like they're less than. I'm just disrespect their boundaries. That's literally it. And I feel like if people learn to respect their own boundaries, I feel like we'd have less issues. Once we got social media, everybody started to turn that. So they didn't get used to getting punched in the face until they got punched in the face. Now reality hit them. So, but just things like that. But I know you wanted to speak a little bit more about, like, relationships and everything. So in regards to relationships, do you want to just speak about, like, how, like, just relationships are nowadays modern and, like, how they contrast from back in the day? Because we didn't live in back in the day, but, like, just your thoughts about relationships nowadays.
Yeah, I feel like romance is out the window nowadays. Yeah. Like, from what I see, I don't really see, like, people, they don't ask girls to be their girlfriends no more, like, not properly. It's just like, oh, y'all be around each other, like, you my girl now. Like, it's just in the air, but it's not like, okay, like, do you want to be my girlfriend? I don't know. I don't feel like it's like how it was back in the day.
You know, I think I know the reasons why, because I feel like it comes to the media too.
That
like
too,
people start playing relationships as more of like a business thing or an image thing, as opposed to like a real, like, I really like this person, or I like generally hanging out with this person or whatever, and everything. I respect this person, and you know that turns into like a certain like for that person, and so on. It just goes on. It just, emotions become more and more shallow because they become very attached to the ego. Like, okay, I date this girl, I can brag to my fellows that I dated this girl, I fuck with this girl, and everything. And so people become accessories, and which is a really, really sad thing, but it's a phenomenon that we I feel like music kind of plays into that, because it's like, you know, back then it was just like, you had stuff like Nelly and everything with like what was that song she did with Kelly Rowland? That was one of my favorite songs.
Dilemma?
Dilemma.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, you have rap songs like DB Dude with
like
freaking Band-Aid on their face.
And
they'd be like, they say like they love these women. It'd be like some of the stuff like Biggie Smalls would make like a love song, or 50 Cent would make a love song. But now it's just like, it's down to like, I think Cedric the Entertainer pointed out, was like, Snapchat me that pussy.
Like,
it's
I don't trust these hoes. Like,
or
stuff
Snapchat
like that.
me that pussy.
Right?
Like, dang, like, what does she even look like? Like, do you even know what she's like?
I feel like nowadays, like, it's,
I know, like, now you're feeling emotional.
Niggas don't care. They don't care what you look like. If you got a body, they gonna fuck with you. Like, they don't give a fuck if you look like a gorilla. That's just how I feel. That's how I feel.
It's all an image. It's like, you know, and it's
Very
just,
much.
and that's why it's like, when I look at things like BBL and people getting surgery, like, it's becoming more and more like, you know, when people got surgeries, it was like, it was like, I wouldn't say taboo, but it was like a life-changing decision. Now it's like, it seems like it's like a standard
so common
now. It's a
and
standard.
such a standard. And I really feel like, girls, we need to love ourselves more. Like, I don't think you should be getting all that work done to your body, especially like, it be girls around the same age as me. Like,
yeah,
I'm 21. It be girls that's like 22, 23 years old, going out getting BBLs, lip fillers, like, titties, all that. I'm like, girl, you didn't even wait for your body to mature. Like, we still not done.
And it's just like, I want to be able to tell this to everybody who's watching. I'm looking at the camera now, because like, listen, every female that feels like you need to do like, get like surgery on your body to enhance your body to get a nigga hard, 9 times out of 10 that nigga likes dick, because ain't no way you need to have like prerequisites. Like, females was getting fucked for centuries, and they had bodies, they look different, they look all types of ways. Like, didn't have surgery for do with stretch marks or whatever happens after birth and everything, and dudes was fucking women, it didn't matter and everything. When you're attracted to a woman, or when a man is attracted to a woman, or a woman attracted to a man and everything, or just whatever the case may be, it's just like, it's like that person's personality that takes off like center stage, and everything else kind of comes like to the way. Like, that might attract you to them, and like you may appreciate about the way that they look, but also it's just like this chemistry that you got to consider. Like, is this person funny? Does this person have the same values that I do? Like, and even if they don't, like, do they still come across as intriguing to the point where you can respect their differences and everything? So it's just like, without that, you know, it takes away like the more realistic side of love, and it's more like fantasy side, you know.
I also want to say, like, I don't disagree with girls like surgically enhancing their body. Like, do you, like, whatever you want to do, like, that's on you. But I feel like it's becoming such a standard in society now, and I don't feel like it's genuine when, like, you know, dudes, they come in the club and that's what they want to spend money on for, like, their friends. I don't think that's genuinely what they want in real life. Because when you see these dudes outside of work, they with girls with the natural bodies and stuff. That's really not what's getting wiped up in real life. And
when you think about it, it also comes down to the black family as a whole. When you take the father out of the household and everything, for a lot of families, not everybody, because some of us have 2-parent household. But like, once you kind of shift that dynamic to that being like the standard as well, like, a lot of people grew up not seeing what true love really is, you know, or where it goes through the years from, like, your parents were very young. When you was a kid, they was young love type stuff, kind of settling with life. And then you kind of see how it goes up and down. They might argue a little bit, but then they don't go to bed. They still say that they love each other and everything like that. And they get old and they hold hands type stuff. You know, like, there's stages to love and everything. And that comes with like maturing as an individual. And like, we take the maturity out of the process, and then it becomes a whole lot about standards and fetishes and just what
I think it's a fetish.
You know, everybody focus more on the fetish.
I
and
really
the
think it's
side,
a fetish,
and the image too. Like, oh, this nigga don't make this much money. Like, I'm not even gonna fuck with them, or this girl don't have this type of BBL. don't look like this, I'm not gonna fuck with her. Her skin tone don't look like this, or his skin
Definitely
tone, dark skin,
colorism,
light skin, color or something. It's like, dude, can y'all like shut up?
Please,
just find somebody and sit down, bro. Like, go to counseling, seriously. Like, and even if you feel like you don't have an issue, it's good to just go to somebody that you can be able to vent out, because sometimes there could be stuff that's bothering you, and like, or maybe the way that you're looking at something that a therapist can kind of help you look at it in a different way. And it's just like, I'm not trying to say it's just like, oh, I know like mental health is kind of taboo in the black community.
It's very taboo in the black community.
But it's like, I feel like it's starting to really wreak havoc now, because we are literally ODing. We're trying to give up this image, and it's just like, bro, what part of your life? I hated taking cough medicine as a kid, and I'm not going against anybody that wants to put in lean, because I ain't trying no lean before, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you can't take it to an extent where it's just like it fucks with your body to the point where it's just like you're trying to keep up this image and everything, and it's like you don't need that to be happy, bro.
And then they influencing like younger people. They putting all this stuff in music. I feel like the labels, they push this agenda with black people to just tear down the community even more. And
like, it works every time. It's too effective because people are followers. Nobody wants to just think for themselves. I remember I was in this group chat, bro, and people look on my page and they see that I graduated and I have glasses on and stuff like that. They try to like make me feel bad.
Try to downplay, call you a nerd.
I think one time, they try to like Malcolm X. They call me Malcolm. Like, why would I hate being called Malcolm X? That's the nigga,
he was
bro.
a smart ass dude.
He was the dope. He was a real, and he was educated. Like, why is being educated like a bad thing?
I don't understand that at all.
And it's like other groups of people are like being competitive and everything, building their foundations, their wealth, and we're just pissing it all away.
I say this all the time.
And it's just like it's becoming embarrassing because it's becoming more and more apparent.
And I don't think I hate saying this, but it's true. Like, I don't think black people want to advance as a race. Like, I feel like we have, some black people that genuinely do, but this, all this music, these drugs and stuff like that,
and we're too on the fence about trying to support each other. Like, Kamala Harris, this is going to be like the first black woman president, possibility, if we all support and get her in there. And it's like, you don't give it the same energy you did for Barack Obama a couple years. And Barack Obama was doing this thing. Some people said they hated it. Whatever. Y'all going to complain no matter who we put in office.
They want Trump in office because of the economy.
Because the $1,200 they get.
And the thing is, he had to give us the $1,200. Like, it was a pandemic.
It wasn't even his
he didn't even want to do it.
And it's just like, people just don't read. They be like the littlest things, bro. But when there's people really out here trying to sacrifice for us to advance, you look down on them. You talk about, oh yeah, she ain't black. She said she was Indian, now she black. And I'm like, okay, yeah, so whatever. It's like, whatever. Why we gotta give her full like genealogy just to fit in where we fit in? Most black people aren't even like one like type color. Y'all mixing. So you say you were Native American partially. Mm-hmm. Some people got a little bit of white in them. Some people got Spanish in them.
Literally,
it's just whatever.
Nobody is just one thing.
Nobody
is being a pick me for being proud of their heritage. And I feel like that's another thing that I see. Like, people be like, oh, like when black people say they this and they mix with that, they just trying to
identify with it more than whatever.
They just proud of their background.
Ain't nothing wrong with being proud of your background, because it's like, I'm Liberian, and I bring it up from as many times as I feel.
Right.
But it's like at the same time, it's just shown. It's just really just like Liberia was a country founded by Black American slaves. Like, the literal city was named after the President James Monroe. So it's like, it's the fact that people don't bring that up as often as they will, and it's just like we don't like find like the accountability in ourselves to actually do the research and everything to see like the things that we've done. And I know like Black History Month or whatever, every day is Black History.
Every day, every single day.
And it's just like, that's just the final note of just like, accountability is a word that we as a people, especially in this generation, need to become very familiar with if we really want to reach the heights that we want to, the happiness that we deserve, and it's just like, the peace that we also deserve as well.
Yes.
It all comes down to accountability. What are you willing to do, and what are you willing to change to ensure that you reach these points?
And we can't keep using slavery as a crutch. Like, I know we have generational trauma, but
it's valid. It's very valid. And they still carry stuff to this point to push it to that point. But it's like, if you realize that, then what steps are you taking
to go forward? Yeah, and break the generational curses.
Yeah, educate yourself. I ain't saying you gotta be like go to college, nothing like you can learn a trade, but just
but
like,
also everybody can't be a rapper. You gotta know.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, I'm an artist, but it's like, but at the same time, it's like I'm still trying to get my MBA. At the same time, I want to start my own businesses and stuff like that. I just see like rap music. It's just something that it's like, yeah, like it saved my life at one point, and it's just like still I want to share that passion. But the end goal is really just to take that funding to invest in the business to change other people's lives, hiring other people that look like me instead of being discriminated by their name or whatever. They can still be able to get a job easily through me. I want to be able to provide those opportunities for my people in the States and back home in Africa. So it's just stuff like that. It's just something you got to think with a broader mindset. It's not all about rims and chains and everything. It looks nice, but it's not everything.
Like, people are very materialistic nowadays. And then a lot of people, they complain about like being discriminated against and, all this stuff. But I'm like, y'all want to be rappers, y'all want to sell drugs and stuff. I don't see enough of our people wanting to become lawyers,
and
doctors,
killing each
nurses.
other.
Yes, that too. But we talk about the police killing us, but we killing each other. I don't never hear people talk about that.
I mean, it's just the hypocrisy that comes with lack of accountability and everything. And it's just like, I don't want to be tough on everybody because nobody's perfect. Like, we all got things that we got to work on within ourselves. But at the same token, we all need to be more cohesive in terms of reaching the points that we need to, whether if it's spirituality, career-wise, and just, love and relationship-wise. It's not bad to apologize when you know you did some weird shit, bro. It's not bad to just admit when you're wrong, bro. And that's all a part of growing and maturing. It's just taking accountability, and that's going to be the major word I'm going to push until the end of this year to the next year. Accountability. Get familiar with that word.
You have to.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm glad we've had this conversation and everything. We pretty much stretched to around the end of the hour mark.
Oh, gosh.
We were going in. Do you feel like we didn't turn did we left anything out?
I feel like we pretty much covered everything. I think we definitely need a part 2 of this episode because we can go so much deeper into a lot.
We can definitely get back to. We'll take accountability again. That's
yeah, we will
for sure. But that's it for the Mental Threads podcast. Is there anything else you want to go off on before we go off?
I just want to tell our people to love yourself, love each other, stop being colorist. Stop being mad when white people be racist, but you're literally tearing down your own kind.
And that message was brought to you by the word accountability.
Accountability.
Recognize
Take accountability.
Accountability, motherfucker. Look it up in the dictionary. All right, that's it for the Mental Threads podcast, episode 165. We were sewing in, and now we're sewing out. Okay, cool. Right on the hour now. That's good. That's great. That is dope. So how do you like the whole process?